some people like to sell things that needs to be in a dumpster, okay? Where's the fucking logic there? But anywho, hey guys, welcome back to my channel, Viaglo. If you're new here, my name is Gloria and I'm a full-time reseller on multiple different apps and I resell clothes and shit. So in today's video, I'm going to be talking to you guys about how to become a reseller in 2022. This is going to be from my perspective and what I wish I had known when I first started. So if you were either looking to get a side hustle or get rid of old clothes, this is definitely going to be the video for you. Now, when I became a reseller, I didn't even know that there was a term to coin what I was doing. I just was getting rid of old clothes because I didn't want them anymore. And I didn't want to throw them in the trash like I used to, which was a really bad thing that I did. Like, I would literally take clothes that I didn't need and throw them in the trash. And then I graduated to giving them to my sisters for free. So where's the fucking logic there? But anywho, I'm going to be going over a few things that I think that you should know before you get started. So first, you want to start small. So you want to go through your house. If you have family members that live with you, ask them, do they have any old clothes that they no longer want or need? Get those items, go through your clothes, get those items, go through the house, get items that's been sitting around, that's probably sitting in your garage, sitting in your attic, your basement, that you don't want. And you feel like maybe somebody would want this. And then you gather them all up. You split them up in categories. So you'll make sure you have like your clothing, your shoes, your accessories, your home decor, your electronics, just everything that you want to get rid of, all in one place, so you can just visualize everything. Now, what you want to do next is go through each and every item, okay, and see what is worth selling and then what is worth donating or just trashing, because some items belong in the trash, okay? Some people like to sell things that needs to be in a dumpster, okay? Don't be that person. Now, if the item is in good condition, you definitely want to sell it. If you see one stain here, one stain there, very small, very minor, I would say definitely sell it. Now, you want to consider how much time you want to put into this. Now, during the time that I first became a reseller, I actually didn't have a job, which worked out perfectly for me. But if you have a job when you start this, you definitely want to make sure you get with a site that doesn't require much from you. Now, there is a wide range of reselling platforms. However, I'm going to be going over the ones that I'm familiar with. I have actually been on 6 different reselling sites, and I know I'm a little reselling whore. However, I knew early on that when things slow down, you need to pick up, and by picking up, you want to cross list. So when we talk about platforms that will have the lowest maintenance, you definitely want to look into eBay and Mercari. These platforms are more so a sit it and forget it type of platform, which is great. If you have any people that like your item on Mercari, you'd be able to promote your listings on Mercari. You'd be able to send offers on Mercari as well as to the watchers on eBay. So those sites are the lowest of maintenance. I mean, like, you can check on them every couple of days type of low maintenance. On the other hand, you have Poshmark and Depop. Now, those 2 platforms, they require a little bit more maintenance, okay? If you sell on Poshmark, you already know you have to share your items in order for them to keep getting pushed back to the top of the search engine, which is a little bit time consuming when you are just trying to sell your clothes. You don't want to be active on it. I feel like Poshmark and Depop's like whole little, what word am I trying to reach for? Because the shoulder is giving right now. Their whole little viewpoint, I guess, on their sites is to have people engaged consistently. So they require you to either share your items, you know, consistently, or on Depop, you'd have to refresh your items consistently. Now, both platforms, they don't require you to do so, but if you want to make money, you kind of have to. So 3 to 5 times a day, you need to refresh, you need to reshare your items. It is a bit time consuming if you ask me, because why do I have to give time to a place where I just want to sell my items? I don't want to have to sit here and keep opening the app. But that's how they built their app, is to be more engaged. Like, you can't sit it and forget it. Now, I've also dibbled and dabbled on a site called Vinted as well as Curtsy. I did make a few sales on both of the platforms. However, I later found out that they weren't for me. I do have a video that I've already done on 5 different platforms, and I kind of go more in depth with it, and I won't do that here. So I'll have that link link down below if you guys want to check that video out. But I feel like Curtsy and Vinted is also a low maintenance platform, but you definitely want to try it out for yourself. And then you want to get to a point where you know what sells best on each platform. Now I'm actually going to tell you guys what sells best per platform, which get your notepad out if you need it. All right, so we're going to talk about clothing first because that is what I specialize in. So if you want to sell vintage clothing, I would highly recommend to get on eBay and Depop. If you want to sell low tier brands like mall brands, fast fashion brands, Shein, Fashion Nova, I would highly recommend Mercari or Depop because that is more so a good place for those type of brands, because Mercari is better for things that you want to sell for a cheap price and get rid of, and then Depop is more so for Generation X, Z. Which one is it? I don't fucking remember. The younger crowd, okay? It's for them. They are on there and they're cheap as fuck. So Depop is a good site to sell your really cheap mall brands on because they will buy it. Now when it comes to luxurious brands, I can't really name any because I don't buy luxurious shit, but if you buy luxurious shit, I would highly recommend selling it on eBay and Poshmark because that is where the crowd is for those items, because that's where you want your items to sell. You don't want to put your shit on Mercari. So many scams over there. I just did a video, like, hopefully y'all watched it. You don't want to put your shit on Depop. Hella scams over there as well. I wouldn't trust it. But I just feel like as far as me feeling confident about selling something that is a higher dollar, I would feel more confident on Poshmark or eBay. All right, so when it comes to electronics, you actually want to look at what you have. If you have some vintage VCR tapes, or I don't know, what is old shit that people have? I don't know, record players and tablets and laptops and watches and computers and phones. If you have any of that, I would highly recommend selling it on eBay or Mercari. Mercari, like I said, is a little sketchy sometimes, but I do think that it's a really good platform to sell electronics on because they're pretty big on electronics, as well as eBay. eBay is really big on electronics because that is a market that they really pour into. So when it comes to accessories, I would highly recommend selling on eBay or Mercari. And by accessories, I just mean hats, sunglasses, watches, you know, belts, scarves, and shit like that. Those would do well on those two platforms just because they are, like I said, in that market for those specific items. You can also sell it on Poshmark, don't get me wrong, but I would sell like more luxurious ones on Poshmark, if you catch my drift. So when it comes to like purses, bags, wallets, etc., I would highly recommend selling it on Poshmark or eBay. Again, it goes into the luxurious category, especially if it is luxurious. Now, if you're selling some cheap ass Shein or shit like that, okay, maybe you could sell it on Mercari. But I feel like eBay and Poshmark is probably going to be your best option when it comes to those because the platforms are a little bit larger and they do have a fan base for those specific items. All right, now like dishes and home decor things, I am not well versed in this. I'm gonna be completely honest. You really have to check out my boy Thrifted with Tony because he really is a connoisseur of the dish game and the antique game. What is the word that I'm looking for? Knickknacks, that's the word. He really knows his shit, okay? And he's entertaining. If y'all like my content, y'all gonna love his content. So make sure y'all go check him out and subscribe to his channel. Let him know that I sent y'all if y'all do go over. But anyways, so he really goes more in depth, and I've been watching him since the very beginning of his channel, and I've learned so much from him. But I'm also very scared to get into that realm because I think I'm more scared of the shipping aspect of it because I just like to throw my shit in a poly mailer and call it a day. I feel like when you sell dishes and more fragile items, you have to be a little bit more cautious and careful when packaging. And I feel like sometimes I don't have time for that. So that is just my downfall. But anyways, y'all, I was going off on a tangent. I have to cut that short. I would highly recommend selling it on Etsy or eBay because Thrifted with Tony says he does amazing on Etsy, like absolutely amazing selling these pieces. So if you're in like the knickknack area of reselling, if you have a lot of, you know, home decor, old dishes or dishes that you think people would love, definitely put them on Etsy because you gonna get the interactions that you need. Also put them on eBay because like I said, eBay is just so big when it comes to this reselling shit because it was like the very first one out there. So it would be in your best interest to always put it on eBay as well. And then when it comes to the shoes, you can put that on any platform. I guess it really depends on the style of the shoes. I feel like more feminine shoes would do well on Poshmark. And then I feel like men's shoes would probably do better on Depop and on eBay. I think they would do good on Mercari too. I've been able to sell some Nike men's shoes, but you won't be getting the most for them, but they'll still do well. But I would highly suggest just putting them on all platforms. Probably not Etsy. I feel like Etsy is like really niche down on vintage, unique items. So if it's not unique or vintage, I would put the shoes on Etsy. That's just my recommendation. I would highly suggest to stick to 1 to 2 platforms. You don't want to overwhelm yourself because it does get a little bit crazy. So now that you've downloaded the apps that would suit the items that you are trying to resell, you want to go ahead and get everything set up. I did make a video about how to take pictures per platform. I'll have that one linked down below. I go a little bit more into detail on how you can like find certain things from an item that you don't know anything about. Like, it's pretty helpful. It'll be linked down below. And then I also have a video on how you can accurately price your items per platform. That one is linked down below as well. And then I also did a video on shipping. I'm most likely going to do an updated one because that one was geared toward more of shipping on your own and work with USPS and shit like that. I'll have that one linked below as well if y'all want to check that out. But that was not really, you know, the best. But you definitely want to go ahead and use the platform's label, especially with you being new, because it does get overwhelming. Now, if you are interested in shipping on your own, definitely watch my ship video because I do kind of go into detail on how you would be able to ship on your own. So that'll be there if you need it. But I would recommend in the beginning to just ship per platform and just allow them to give you the label, and then you just print it out and go from there. All right, so let's move on to the things that you are going to need to be a reseller. This list is very short and I want to keep it as concise as possible, mainly because you don't want to overwhelm yourself with all of the shit that resellers recommend. I'm going to tell you the very basics because that is all you need in the beginning. Printer, poly mailers, tape, and a lint roller. That's it. That's all you need. Maybe even a shaver if you got a lot of sweaters, but anything outside of that, don't waste your money on, especially in the beginning, because you don't even know if you really want to invest in this business or this side hustle. You just want to get your money. I know that it's hard sometimes for a lot of newbies to not fall into the trap of the keeping up with the Joneses, but I highly recommend that you stick to the basics in the beginning. It took me a full 2 years before I've upgraded a lot of the items that I have had now versus what I got in the beginning. Like, you just don't want to be out on these streets wasting money just because you want to be like everybody else. Like, be yourself. All right, now after everything's been said and done, if you don't think you want to do any of this, I have a video down below on how you can be a client for Flip. Now, this one is, I feel like, a little bit more easier in a sense. Now, the plus about this option is the fact that people that resell clothes will be selling your items. So they've already done the research. They already know what sells and for how much, and your items are going to be in good hands. However, if you go the other route, which is thread up, you'll be sending your items to a place that is going to be consigning your items as well, but your profit is going to be low as hell, like low as hell. So option number 2. And then option number 3 is to just donate it, because a person like me, I'm gonna go to the thrift store and I'm gonna pick it up and I'm gonna sell it. So what you want to do, it's your choice. But anyways, thank y'all for tuning in and watching this video. If y'all have any questions, please make sure you ask them down below. If it's anything that you think I should have added into this video, also write that down below, because any type of newbie resellers that find this video, I want y'all to know what y'all need to know in the beginning, okay? And also, don't be overwhelmed. But yeah, y'all, that's all I have. But if you want to check out my merch, because you know your girl has merch now, I do have it linked down below under my merch. If you want to support me in any type of way, definitely go ahead and pick you up one of my items.